Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to my California Angels replay of the 1982 season. And how about this? The Angels, we've just completed 2 months of the season. We're on June 1st today. And the Angels are sitting exactly in my replay where they were in real life, 31 and 18, going into the second of a 2-game series with the Detroit Tigers. As you can see, Chet Lemon's already at second base. I had a little technical issue on the first play of the game. Mick Kelleher overthrew Carew. Lemon goes to second, and that's where we're starting today. With nobody out, Lemon was the first batter. So here's Enos Cabell, and the Angels rolling just like they did in 1982. Here's a pop-up to Kelleher. How about this? Kelleher, this is his first appearance of the season, and the first player of the game hit it to him, and he threw it for an error. Second batter of the game hits him a fly ball, and that one he makes the catch shot. So one away, and here's Kirk Gibson. And Gibson's going to walk with the ball down low. So 2 on here in the first inning with the Tigers. And here's Mike Ivy. Ivy hitting .236, right at his average for 82. Ground ball to Kelleher, flips to Grich. There's 2 outs. And the Tigers got runners at first and third as Richie Hebner steps in. And there's a line drive base hit into right field. That's going to score the run. And the Tigers up 1-0 on Ken Forsch, who's had an outstanding season. 6-1, only a 2.69 ERA, a full point under what he did in real life that year. And the Tigers already on the board. Here's a ground ball to Sensei. He'll go the short way to Grich. And that'll do it for the Tigers. But they do score a run in the first inning. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Downing, Carew, and Grich to lead it off for the Angels here at Anaheim Stadium. And there's a called strike 3, 1 away. Dan Petrie, 5-2 for the Tigers in this replay. Carew's going to foul one down the left field line. And Rod Carew, he's sitting a little bit above his average at .331. He hit .319 in real life that year. There's a slow ground ball to Whitaker. And that's 2 outs. Here's Bobby Grich. He's having a good year, hitting .270. But he'll be out on that one to Hebner at first. So that's it for the Angels in the first. We'll go to the second. 1-0 Detroit. And here's Lance Parrish. Parrish, that's a drive. That's way back. That's gone. Lance Parrish with his 8th home run of the season. Tigers up 2-0. Here's Sweet Lou Whitaker. And there's a pop-up, looks like on the infield. Bobby Grich will take care of that. And there's 1 away. Alan Trammell hitting .287. That's in the gap. And that's going to be a double for Trammell. So the Tigers, man, 3 hits already. Only in the second inning. And Ken Forsch seeing a little bit of trouble here in the early part of the ball game. There's a pitch to Lemon. He's going to dink it into left field. And that's going to score Trammell, as Downing will not give a throw. He'll throw it into DeCinces at third. And Chet Lemon on for the second time. 3-0 Tigers already here in the second inning. Here's Enos Cabell. Ground ball to Carew. He's going to go to Kelleher for 1. Back to first, and the Angels turn the double play and get out of the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the second. 3-0. Here's Reggie. Boy, Reggie's really struggled. Although there's a base hit to right field. Yeah, he's well under his average. He's only hitting .236, although he has managed to hit 8 home runs. But average-wise, he's really struggled here in the first 2 months of the season. Here's Dan Baylor. There's a ground ball. Base hit through the infield. That'll get Jackson to second. Now the Angels have something going here in the bottom of the second. Nobody out, and it's Freddie Lynn. Lynn, ground ball to Trammell. He'll go to Hebner. That's going to move the runners up. Not sure why he didn't go to second base. It looked like he might have an opportunity to get Baylor there, but he decided to get the sure out with Hebner at first. There's 1 out, second and third for Doug DeCinces. DeCinces hitting .309, just over his real-life average that year. That's a deep drive to left field, and that is gone. Home run number 13 for Doug DeCinces. And just like that, the Angels have tied it up at 3. How about that? 344 feet to left field. And we are all tied. Here's Mick Kelleher. Kelleher. Fly ball to left field. There is one away. Here's Bob Boone. Boone, ground ball up the middle. Whitaker manages to throw out the slow-moving Boone. There's 2 outs. Or excuse me, that's the end of the inning. So no runs, or 3 runs for the Angels that inning. And they tie it up. We'll go to the top of the 3rd. And there's an out to deep right field. Boy, things happen fast in this game, don't they? Here's Mike Ivy. Ivy, there's one in the gap. Jackson gets it to Kelleher, to DeCinces. Ivy in with a triple. Boy, Ivy not known for his speed either, but managed to get to 3rd on that one. 1 out. Runner at 3rd, and here's Richie Hebner. Hebner going to take one outside for ball 4. And once again, Tigers, they've scored in every inning, and they've had something going in every inning too. So 1st and 3rd now with 1 out. We'll see if Larry Herndon can get somebody home. Ground ball to Grich. Grich is not going to throw home. He's going to turn and go to Kelleher for 1. Back to first to Carew. And the Angels have their 2nd double play. And that 2nd double play is going to keep runs from scoring. They've turned a lot of double plays. I don't know what they've turned for the season, but they've had a lot in the first 2 months of the season. And that was a big one right there. So that'll keep the score tied at 3. And here is Brian Downing. Downing right back to Petrie. And there's 1 away. Petrie already at 48 pitches. He can only throw 90. He's fatigued going into this game. Been throwing a lot of innings lately for the Tigers. Here's Rod Carew with a base hit. He's going to try for 2. And he got in there. There's a double for Carew. So 1 out. Angels got a man in scoring position for Bobby Grich. Grich, 268, 5 home runs. He hit 20 in 82. Here's a pop up to center field. Easy play for Gibson. Save chance for Carew at 3rd. We are going to hold him. I kind of go with the theory of never make the 3rd out at 3rd base. So Carew's going to hold. Still in scoring position. And here's Reggie Jackson. And we talked earlier, Reggie, and he hit 275 in 1982, but he's only hitting 236 in this replay with 8 home runs. Let's see if he can get Carew home. Petrie staring in long, and there's the pitch and a foul. So count goes to 0-2 on Reggie Jackson. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. That's going to be the end of the inning. Angels strand a guy in scoring position. We'll go to the 4th, and it's tied at 3. Here's Lance Parrish. What'd Parrish do? He hit the home run. Solo home run to left. Put the Tigers up 2-0. His first time at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swings and misses. And Forsch is going to get his first strikeout of the ball game. Here's Lou Whitaker. Whitaker on the 0-2 pitch. He swings and misses. There's 2 strikeouts for Forsch. He's starting to feel it now. And that brings up Alan Trammell. Trammell. Fly ball at the Lynn, out near the track. And that is 3 outs for the Tigers. And we go to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 3. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Tigers. 3 runs, 4 hits, and an error for the Angels. Here's Don Baylor. Baylor going to check his swing. Ump says no, and Baylor on with a walk. So nobody out, 1 on. And here's Freddie Lynn with a dropper into center field, right in front of Gibson. So the Angels working on something here. Nobody out, 2 on, and here's Doug DeCinces, and he hit a home run his last at bat. He was the one that got the score tied on that home run. Here's a deep drive to Gibson in center field. Gibson all the way to the track, but Baylor not going to be able to go to 3rd on that. He's going to hold. So 1 out. And here's Mick Kelleher. Kelleher had an error in the first inning on the first play of the game, and now he's going to swing and miss. He's going to strike out. So 2 outs. Let's see if Dan Petrie can get out of this jam. Angels had 2 on with nobody out. Here's Bob Boone. Boone's going to take a walk. And now the Angels have the bases loaded with Brian Downing. Downing, 12 home runs here in the first 2 months of the season. He hit 28 in 1982. See what he does with the bases loaded here. And that is a base on balls. So Petrie has walked in a run. Angels take the lead. And the Detroit Tigers going to get some guys up in the bullpen. He's only got a few more pitches left before he's going to hit his fatigue. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, Parrish is going to go talk to him. Here's Rod Carew. Carew doubled in the third. Here's a pop-up. Whitaker is, almost got it, but looks like that ball's going to be back a few seats in. So Whitaker not able to make that out. That would have been a big out right there with the bases loaded. All right, 2-2 pitch. And that is a swing and a miss. Strikeout. Big strikeout for Dan Petrie. And the Angels, though, do manage to pick up a run. And we'll go to the fifth, and it's a 4-3 ball game. Here's Chet Lemon. Lemon on the 0-2 pitch. Fly ball to right field. Reggie back. And that is one away. Ken Forsch giving up 5 hits in 4 1/3 innings. And he's given up a home run and walked 2 and struck out 2. Here's Enos Cabell. Ground ball to Kelleher. Easy out at first. There's 2 outs. And here's a ground ball to DeCinces. And boy, the Detroit Tigers go 1-2-3 for the first time in this ball game. And it's 4-3 going into the bottom of the fifth. Petrie looks like he's going to be at his limit. So let's see what their bullpen's doing here. And I think we're going to go to the bullpen here. Well, you can see, though, they don't have much to work with. Pat Underwood, he's going to make a start in another week, so I guess he is available. And he started 12, but he did pitch, 21 games as a relief pitcher, and he can go 40. So you know what? We're going to go to him first. We're going to give him a shot. Boy, the Detroit bullpen depleted there. So Bobby Grich. It's going to be Grich, Jackson, and Baylor for the Angels here in the bottom of the fifth. There's a drive to left field over in the corner, and Herndon's going to be able to make the play. There's one away. There's Reggie, 1 for 2. He pops it up. Parrish, is he going to be able to get to it? Nope. That's Zach on the screen, and Reggie's going to have another shot, but it's 0-2. See if his struggles continue. Yep, there's a curveball, swung on and missed. And a strikeout for Reggie. There's 2 outs to Don Baylor. And the 2-2 pitch hit to Gibson, a lazy fly ball into center. And that's going to be it for the Angels in the fifth. Let's go to the sixth. 4-3. Angels in the lead. Both teams with 5 hits. Mike Ivy, he tripled last time. Legged out a triple. How often do you say that about Mike Ivy? There's a deep drive. Left field. He's got a triple, and now he's got a home run. And it's 4-4 here in the sixth. Boy, we got a good ball game going on. 4 runs, 6 hits for Detroit. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Angels. Here's Richie Hebner. There's a drive way back, left center. That is gone. Back-to-back home runs for the Detroit Tigers. And it's 5-4 in favor of the Tigers here at Anaheim Stadium. Wow. I think the Angels are going to have to get somebody up. Here's a curveball to Larry Herndon. Is Lynn going to dive? He's going to try it. Let's see if he can pull it off. Oh, great play. Freddie Lynn dives and makes the catch. And there's one away. Wow, what a game we got going on here. Lance Parrish, 1 for 2. And there is a strikeout. So there's 2 outs. That's Forsch's 3rd strikeout. That's going to bring up Sweet Lou Whitaker. And there's a base hit to left field. So that's going to get Whitaker to 1 of 3 today. And bring up Alan Trammell. Trammell doubled off the wall in left center. Flied to deep center in the 4th. Whitaker not really a threat to go. There's a soft fly ball into right center field. That's going to drop in front of Lynn. That'll get Whitaker to 3rd. And now we got 1st and 3rd. Tigers with 2 outs here in the 6th. Boy, the Tigers, except for, 1 inning, have had runners on and runners in scoring position. But looks like that's going to be a fly ball to Reggie and right. So they're not going to get any more runs. They do manage 2, and they take the lead on the Larry Herndon home run. So 5-4, Tigers here in the bottom of the 6th. Freddie Lynn to lead it off. Lynn, that's a drive. That's going to be our 3rd home run of the ball game. Actually, 4th home run of the ball game. Lynn DeCinces, both homered for the Angels. Herndon And I can't remember who homered for the Tigers. Let's take a look here. Boy, what a game. Yeah, the Tigers. Who did the Tigers get home runs from? Yeah, Lance Parrish and Ivy and Hebner. And then DeCinces and Lynn. So we've had 5 home runs in this game, and we are all tied at 5. Here's Doug DeCinces. Like we said, he had the home run earlier, 1 for 2. Here's a line drive right field to front of Lemon. Base hit for DeCinces. And let's see what the Angels are doing here. Mick Kelleher. Kelleher has only been at bat 2 times this season. You know what? We're going to sacrifice him. See if he can get DeCinces into scoring position. But no, Underwood goes to second. Got the lead runner. Not a good bunt. Kelleher able to get to first on the fielder's choice. But that did not work out in their favor. There's one away. And now we got Bob Boone. Underwood will keep Kelleher close. Kelleher not really a threat to run, though. And there's ball 4. So first and second now, 1 out for the Angels. And Brian Downing, 0 for 2. He struck out, grounded to the pitcher, and walked. Parrish going to have a few words with his pitcher. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Slow roller to Cabell. Cabell, he's not even going to make a throw. And that's going to get a runner home. Kelleher's going to score on the air. Cabell could not come up with it cleanly. Kelleher was able to come around third. And now the Angels have taken the lead again, 6-5. 10th error on the season for Ernie Cabell. Let's take a look at him real quick. See what he's got going fielding-wise. Or I call him Ernie Enos Cabell. Well, let's take a look at his fielding. He had quite a few errors, didn't he? Especially at third base. He's already had 10 errors. He had 11 all season. He's played about half of the number of games at third that he did in the 82 season. So, yeah, he's had a lot of errors there. But that error there gives the Angels the lead. 1 out, second and third, and here's Rod Carew. See what Carew does. 1 for 3 today. Here's a fly ball to Gibson in center. He catches it. Is Boone going to be able to tag? Yeah, 95%. We're going to send him. They won't even try. And the Angels up by 2 now, 7-5, with Bobby Grich coming in. Grich, 0 for 3 today. And there's a wild pitch. That'll get Downing to third. So let's see if Grich can get him home with 2 outs. Get some more insurance runs. Yep, base hit the left field right in front of Herndon. No! He came up with it. Didn't look like that was going to be possible. Looked like it was going to fall right at his feet, but Herndon, diving play. What a great play on that. And what a big play as it keeps the Angels from scoring another run. And we're going to go to the top of the 7th with the Angels on top 7-5. So we'll see how big of a play that turns out to be. Might get them back in this ball game. Here's Enos Cabell. Wow, what a play. And there's a strikeout by Cabell. So there's 1 away. Forsch now at 108 pitches. We're going to have to look at the bullpen. I think we got Don Ossie available, and we have Andy Hassler available. There's a ground to third, so there's 2 outs. And here's Mike Ivy. He's tripled, and he's homered, and now he's singled. Base hit. See if he gets up again with a chance to hit for the cycle. There's 2 outs. We're going to go to the pen. Let's see what the Angels are doing in the pen. We got Angel Marino. We got Don Ossie available. We got Luis Sanchez. They pretty much got their whole bullpen. And Doug Corbett. So, you know what? Let's, I don't know. I probably stay with pitchers longer than I should. We're going to give him one more shot at it. I probably should have brought in a lefty for Hebner, shouldn't I? Here's a soft liner to Grich. So he got out of the inning. It turned out okay. They're definitely going to go to the bullpen in this next inning. And now we're in to the home half of the 7th inning. It's time for the 7th inning stretch here at Anaheim Stadium. The Angels up 7-5. What a game this has been. Let's take a look at the reports and see what the box score tells us before the Angels bat. And we'll go to the batting first. Yeah, Mike Ivy, 3 hits, so he's got a possibility of hitting for the cycle. If he can get up again. Lynn's got 2 hits to lead the Angels along with DeCinces. DeCinces got 3 RBIs. He had a home run. This has been a really good game. 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for Detroit. 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Angels. And here's Reggie to lead it off for the Angels in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And I just noticed that Pat Underwood is close to his pitch count. And oh, what a play by Whitaker. Nice. Another great play by the Tigers. And there's 1 away. And Reggie just watching his batting average go down. Now down to 231. All right, we're going to let Underwood pitch to Baylor, and then we're probably going to go to the bullpen. Let's see what Baylor does against the lefty. That's at the belt, and that's a strikeout. There's 2 outs. And you know what? Lefty on lefty, I know he's tired, but we're going to give him a shot at Freddie Lynn here, see what happens. There's a ground ball base hit up the middle. So Lynn on with 2 outs, and the Tigers are going to go to the bullpen. And who do we want? We got DeCinces, Kelleher, Boone, and Downing, all right-handers coming up. So we'll go to the right-hander. Sosa's pitched 3 days in a row. So it looks like it's going to be Lopez. But he can only throw 20 pitches. Let's see what happens here. 2 outs. DeCinces. And that got him. It got him looking. So the punch out for Lopez. That ends the inning for the Angels. We're going to go to the 8th, 7-5, and the Angels are going to go to the bullpen here too. Who do we got? We got Herndon, Parrish, and Whitaker, so 2 righties and a lefty coming up. So let's go to, you know what? We're going to bring in Doug Corbett. He hasn't pitched in a few days, so he should be fresh. And he's going to pitch to he's going to pitch to Larry Herndon here to start off the 8th inning. So there's a base hit to left. Ooh, it gets by Lynn. Herndon to second. Freddie Lynn's first error on the season. And that puts a runner in scoring position, and it puts the tying run at the plate in Lance Parrish. And Lance hit 32 home runs during the 82 season, so he's definitely a threat. But there's a drive to the left field, but Downing's going to take that in. So 1 away. Top half of the 8th inning. Here's Sweet Lou Whitaker. There's a soft liner to Grich. Goes back to Kelleher at second. That's a double play. 3rd double play for the Angels, and another big one to stop a potential rally from the Tigers. And the Angels are going to go to the bottom of the 8th, up by 2. That could have been big. And you know what? Kelleher is going to get pinch hit for here by Rob Wilfong, the only lefty that I got for the Angels. And there's a base hit up the middle, and he's going to turn it into a double. Nice base running by Rob Wilfong. So he leads off the inning with a double. Angels trying to get some insurance runs. And here's Bob Boone. And they're going to put Boone on. Boone walks, 1st and 2nd. Angels got a little rally going here. Here's Brian Downing. 0-2 pitch. Downing, deep drive, left center field. Herndon back to the track, to the wall. It's gone. 385-foot home run by Brian Downing. That's the 6th home run in this game. And the Angels now up 10-5. Wow, that's a big one right there. And that's going to bring in, do they want to go to the pen again? Man, if he could just get through this, they're going to let him pitch. This is probably going to be, they're not probably going to need a pitcher of the night. So we'll see if Lopez could still get him out. There's a fly ball to center field by Carew. Lopez is now fatigued. 1 out. Let's see what he does to Grich. There's a ground ball to Cabell. And he's in. Wow. Grich beat it out. We're going to let Lopez go 1 more. See what Reggie can do here. And he walks Reggie. Yeah, he's really tired now. So, yeah, we're going to have to go to the bullpen. But 4th game in a row for Elias Sosa. He's really the only one I got. Larry Pashnik threw 98 pitches in the last game yesterday, so he can't go. I guess we could go to Kevin Saucier. Yeah, let's go to him. Wow, their bullpen's really depleted right now. So 1 out, 2 on. Here's Don Baylor, 1 for 3. Fly ball to right field. Lemon in the corner, gonna run it down. Grich is not gonna tag. Again, didn't want to make the third out at third base. And here's Freddie Lynn. And Lynn singled up the middle. He's at a solo homer. He's 3 for 4 today. See if he can get another run for the Angels. They're up 10-5. And there's a base hit up the middle. Probably going to be another RBI. Yeah, Grich is going to score. And Reggie is going to go to third. Is he going to go to third on that throw? Reggie, what were you doing? He stayed at second. I guess they deked him with the relay throw. So first and second, Angels up 11-5 now, and here's DeCinces. And that's going to be a walk. Boy, walks just killing the Tigers today. And here's Rob Wilfong. The Angels have batted around. Wilfong started it all off with a base hit up the middle. But he's going to strike out there. So we're going to go to the ninth inning. 11-5 Angels. And Wilfong is going to stay in the ballgame at shortstop for Kelleher. And here's Doug Corbett to nail it down. He'll have Trammell, Lemon, and Cabell. Trammell, 2-hopper back to Corbett. There's 1 away. Here's Chet Lemon. Fly ball to left. Downing is going to put that one away. There's 2 outs. And the Tigers now down to their last out. Here's Enos Cabell. Ground ball to Wilfong. He'll go to Carew. And that's the ball game. Angels 11, Detroit 5. Thanks for joining us for Angels Baseball, the 1982 replay in Action PC Sports. We'll see you next time.